This is where we ended at, trying to maximize the amount of untapped lands, also trying to minimize the amount of red lands, because the best realistic draw of this deck is Turn to Kill, where you would like to have a Simian Spirit Guide, Pentat Prism, and a land that you can put into play untapped on turn 1. But that doesn't work if your land is a Shatter School Smashing, if it's a red land. So it's actually kinda bad to have Shatter School Smashing in many hands, plus you don't really have red lands. It makes sense to have different colored lands to help Pentat Prism enter the battlefield with 2 counters, which is of course preferable and desirable. Talisman of Resilience, preferable over other accelerators, because you can cast Thoughtseize immediately. Nature's Claim and Thoughtseize can be cast over Talisman immediately when you cast that, or push to rest. The kill is to mill your entire deck, trigger Creeping Chills, trigger Narcomoebas. Narcomoeba brings back Sword of the Meek ×3, then you sacrifice Sword of the Meek to Salvage Titan. Well, first you return Salvage Titan from your graveyard by exiling 3 artifacts, which you have excess artifacts in your mana base. Then you sacrifice 3 swords or any prisms if you had prisms laying around, and you play Salvage Titan. Because you have cast an Undercity Informer at first, or a Battleshot Spy to mill your entire deck, Salvage Titan is your second creature cast, so it triggers Vengevines. So that you get 4 Vengevines that are hasty 4-power creatures, and your opponent takes up to 12 from Creeping Chills, so most of the time that kills them. Nexus of Fate, so that you can actually pass the turn and attack them with Vengevines for the second time, but it's rarely actually important. Phantasmagorian if you draw any of your swords, or multiples, so you can ditch them to Phantasmagorian from your graveyard. 20 lands, mono untapped lands plus Pelaka Predations, which are tapped but are extra black lands. I think that's the most castable effect. In the sideboard, Leyline of Sanctity is really good against red-black prowess, especially since your graveyard hate of choice is most likely Nihil Spellbomb, and it clearly solves that. Belcher is an extra way of killing people that you could even play extra copies in the main deck if you would like to. I'm not sure if that's good or not. Nature's Claim answers hate cards for 1 mana. Mainly I wanted to be able to answer Gravigress Cage, Relic of Progenitus out of Tron. Fatal Push is good against humans, but I don't like to board it in many other places. Duress was the card that I liked against counterspells the most, because it also covers cards like Surgical Extraction of those decks. Actually, no lands. That's kinda weak. Yeah, the Amalgam seems pretty bad because not killing immediately seems rather poor. I could see keeping this, I could also see mulliganing this. We have 3 of those, so we have a lot of redundancy, but against Thoughtseize we still suck because they take my second land and I have no mana. This is a turn 4 at best, so we can just mulligan to a turn 2 win maybe. Yeah, that looks better. We keep those 5. Force of Negation is not the greatest at stopping Battleshot Spy. Tron. Alright, I think we beat Tron with this hand. Easy. Look at the cards. We've got, I don't know, I think that's a fair turn 2 we get, so it's actually just relatively easy seemingly. Yeah, much better than Belcher. You're going to single-handedly get a card banned model for Monday. I net deck this. Although I do probably have a bigger influence for like what people play than a random person I net decked. So of course you can get surgically extracted, but even then we win on the next turn. Is Salvage Titan the only card you can cast from graveyard without mana? I think so. Maybe there's something else, but I'm worried about how this deck would handle hate. Well, probably poorly, but you know, it's glass cannon somewhat. It's not, you know, it's less glass cannon than Belcher. It does have some resiliency and having 8 informers and spies, etc. And then also having the Belcher sideboard. How do you get back a card into the library? It's Nexus of Fate ×1. You can play Progenitus. If somebody doesn't have a Nexus of Fate and wants to play paper version of this deck but has been to many GPs in 2016, they probably have a stack of Progenitus somewhere, so you can play Progenitus instead. Wait, it's all spell? Always has been. What if we draw the Nexus, then we have one Phantasmagorian in the deck. If we draw both, then we have to win in the same turn. Like, things can go wrong, but I'm not sure if the Nexus of Fate is actually needed, because, I mean, sometimes you're gonna need to have to go into combat, so it's probably worth to have it. Why is that better than Neobrand? Because you need to draw one card and mana. It seems to be like way more consistent than Neobrand. Do I want Belcher against Tron instead of Wild Counters? I kinda doubt it, actually. I think against Tron, well, they might have Relic. They have Karn against Belcher, okay, that's also a problem. I think we just don't sideboard. Belcher have to make Shadow a 50-50. The rules has been changed a few years ago. Go for Thoughtseize. The thing is that I don't get Relic on the draw anyways. Just gonna go for a turn 3 win. Turn 3 win is lame, yeah, on the draw it's almost meaningless. If you play counters, then it's better to play maybe Rakdos Signet to be able to play a counter off of the Signet. Not Signet, Talisman. Immediately. We'll save if you draw a Spirit Guide. Too bad. At least you have 4 mana sources in play already and a 5th one coming, so even if they card me, we beat that. So you need something else. Talisman also deals damage for Shadow. Life can be a scarce resource for this deck, maybe sometimes. I'm not sure we beat Wormcoil Engine. Wild, okay. They're interacting. What else? Oblivion Stone, okay. Dismember for this? No. They can also have Surgical. Driven Despair was your answer to opponent filling the board with creatures. Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but it seems barely useful for... Opponent play the Wormcoil, you lose. If they play Wormcoil, then we attack, we just went through the Wormcoil. I would have attacked with 4 Vengevines and they... I guess, no. They survive. Why are they at 7? Do you attack them with the counter? Yeah, I attack them with the counter. Yeah, sure, they go to 1 with Wormcoil, but they also need to, like, kill me because they attack once again to the Wormcoil. I mean, you play against Boggles and we also like trouble against a lifelinking creature. We just lost to a lifelinking creature in the first match that we ever played with this deck. And that certainly is a little bit of a problem, but I don't know. Is this deck good or is it a meme? It seems baseline strong. Force of Despair actually sounds kinda good against this deck. Or in this deck. Force of Despair? What for? I guess it answers Boggles kinda. I don't know, it sounds pretty bad though. I'll dot them. I think my point might be a case of a salty player and not wanting to concede. Like this deck beats Force of Negation. Yeah, it's really nice that you don't get countered by Force of Negation. Is it not dangerous to only play 3 swords? Opponent could wait and wield in response to the returning the creature from graveyard to hand by destroying 1 meek. Sure, that would be a problem if they did that this game. Although it wouldn't be because I can still sacrifice the Sphere of Suns that I have in play otherwise, so I would have had 4 total. So, first league I had 4 swords to avoid things like that, but I don't think it's gonna come up often. Mool? Force of Vigor? Yeah, I think Claim is better than Force of Vigor. I should cap Tailend instead of this. Alright, Mana Leak check. Fuck you. How is it fair to have a Mana Leak by turn 2? Come on. It doesn't expect 2 Mana Leak Twitch chat. Why can't they just not have it? Well, the answer is simple. I should have been on the play or should have had a Thoughtseize. Time for my opponent to deploy an Omnath. No, chase the Mind's card. So we win if we draw a non-tapped lands. Open pluses. I guess they've seen they miss a land drop. They put a card on the bottom. Alright, lands. Thank you. Easy. Look at the cards. I wonder what card was on the bottom. It was probably a land, but I would like to see which one. Chase the Malt Sculptor. This deck would be annoying to play in paper. You can just flip your entire deck. Just like flip the entire deck and like with ad nauseum. And like wanna look and the opponent's like, oh. +4 Leyline of Life Force. Who came up with the Salvage Titan plus Vengevine idea? I've seen it on my Discord. I don't know if there is a better way to summon Vengevines from the graveyard, but I don't think there is for that works from your graveyard for no mana. So the question becomes, what do we board out? Like, we could board out Thoughtseize and just keep the mana. I've seen Macwinsos had Stony Silence. Board out Nexus, it's fine. I think Nexus is not fine to board out. Nexus might be bad versus Cryptic Tap. And you might ask, hey Kanister, you said it before that they would Cryptic your spell, and I'll say, no, because I have Leyline of Life Force. I'm gonna trim an Informer because they don't discard my cards, so I'm probably gonna draw one. And I want to draw one and resolve one. Like, drawing multiples isn't that good against counters when I have Thoughtseize Life Force. Now that's a hand. I think I'll move this. Alright, we keep this. Creature spells can be countered. That includes my opponent's creature spells. Alright, that's a creature spell. I guess we pull out the... Well, I meant to play the Valak with Awakening. Doesn't matter much. Those decks rarely have graveyard. Hey, they might absolutely have Wildfire. Destroying my lands. I just shuffled the sword into my deck, that was bad. Surgical Extraction. Alright, if we take Extraction and they have Path and Veto cards that don't do anything, Extraction is pretty good. They do have Graveyard Hates. It's gonna take me a while to restore my... What's this? Fuck, yo. I mean, it's just milling random cards, so it's not that big of an issue, but it is somewhat of an issue. Mill my Narcomoeba, it means the second one. They had Veto too. Veto doesn't do that much against me. I think I shouldn't board in Leyline of Life Force on the play. Mill a Swords, I guess I can't combo off. So it is actually problematic. So I guess I can win through the Ashok. The Fairy bounces the Leyline. Okay. The Leyline didn't succeed. I got the Spy for the next turn anyway, so might as well cast it 2-3. You have an extra creature, I think. They can't win because they exiled one of my swords and I just won't have enough artifacts. So I literally cannot get there because I can't reanimate Vengevines ever. Alright, that was sad. If my opponent has Veto post-board, the Leyline of Life Force doesn't even look great. So I'm gonna board them out. Because on the play we can anyways like try to go for turn 2. Leyline almost got us there. Yeah, Ashok too good. I mean, if you mill like 12 cards with Ashok, you're gonna hit something from Vital pretty often. One land. Good hand. We're gonna go Thoughtseize on the next one after talismaning. Maybe I'm gonna get spell snared and then I'm gonna be sad. If I get spell snared, it's gonna be very stupid, but... LOL! What a hand! What a hand! Opponent, did your mulligan button get broken? Ha 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 ha! They didn't play that in. They didn't play that in. Ah, just being sneaky. Thinking I'll be scared, huh? I was scared. See, they drew the extraction. Because we can't beat that either. And they've got one draw step, one opportunity, and Kanister wins the match. Easy! Uro Control defeated. What a hand. Shattercool smashing, Simeon speed gates. Why are benchmarks better than Thassa's Oracle? Because you don't need to have them in your hand to work, maybe. If it didn't take a 10, I would have been fine with that. I think that's a viable win condition, but it just doesn't work in a single turn, so that's why I don't like it. Meow. But I've been burned by Valakut Awakening being tapped and being red way too many times compared to how useful it was to cast this. Noble Hierarch, okay. On top of that, why don't we only play untapped lands? I changed the deck to reflect that already. What's the benefit to this over the Belcher deck? Well, it's just good, while the Belcher deck is not good. But to list that shortly, you only need 4 mana and not 7, and you have 8 kill cards and not 4. So that's a pretty reasonable set of benefits, I think. And then on top of that, you also get to play Thoughtseize, and your kill cards are not force of negationable. You don't auto lose to Meddling Mage. You are unaffected by Thalia. You can raise some decks. I heard you were on team with Isaac, root for the Mythic Envy, your neighbor IRL lose small world. He partially made me play Thoughtseize in my Goblins deck, so... I mean, it was me who played the Thoughtseize in the Goblins deck, but it was a group effort to play the Thoughtseize in the Goblins deck at the Invitational. It was not a good times. Mage Toss Work, naming Salvage Titan. Shh. Not if they don't know. Playing salty, they might just be trying to figure out what's happening because they haven't seen the deck or something. Is the opponent looking at the cards? They are assuredly are. Look at the cards, my turn. How did Modern train to this? Have people already forgotten Ironworks and Hogak? I did not forget them. You're still in my heart. Rest in peace, friends. You can see KCI but not Hogaks. Now you can see Hogaks. Justice for Hogak. And for KCI, please. This is a turn to kill? Yeah. Yeah, I've been framed, exactly. Hogak and KCI got framed. Which is funny because you can both use frame, as in like putting a picture in a frame, or in this case cards, or, you know, making so that it appears that somebody did a bad thing rather than another person. I've been watching this stream for a year and I still have zero clue what KCI is. Chat, help, use Google. It's important to call a judge so they can watch the match for 30 seconds before wandering off. So true, friend. I'm going to board in Childbearer and I'm gonna board out in Awakening and a Thoughtseize because I don't know what I'm playing as. A Noble Hierarch deck, they can have hate or whatnot. Slow end, but I can draw acceleration and I have 3 lands already. Actually, I don't even have black mana. This hand was pretty bad to keep. Just draw Prism. Okay. You're still alive, didn't expect that. Me neither. GG VP. We have 3 Belchers in the deck. Rattle Chains. They're gonna Queller my Belcher now. Does the Jellyfish count on the Vengevine? No. Salvage Titan is the second creature cast. The first creature cast is the Balustrade Spy or Undercity Informer. Wow, they actually quelled that. I can win. Imagine playing a useless spell and your opponent decides to spend a counter spell on it. That might mean that they have 2 spell Quellers, and then we're screwed, but if they only have 1, then we can still win. Although we're gonna play a Balustrade Spy, and they're probably gonna quell that too. How do we win against Rest in Peace? Again, I cast Goblin Char Belcher. No, I also need to beat them, which is not the most trivial, but doable. They will side out Queller now? Oh, okay. I don't know, 3-minute form, I'm not sure if it's wise. We have 7 spies. Not siding in Belcher's question mark. Why question mark? Because Queller is good against Belcher. If he drops Rip, you need another win con. I have Claim, and I can also Thoughtseize it, and I can also ignore it. There are ways. Twitch chatters are obsessed with this idea of losing the game in a way where you play your cards. When your opponent plays their card and you like lose as soon as it resolves, doesn't mean that it is, wow, force on force? Wow! Doesn't mean that it's good for you to have that protection from that card in your deck. Or like plan around that. Guess Thoughtseize is a more efficient, more typically better answer to this kind of a thing. Can someone explain how Vengevine gets triggered? Salvage Titan. Alright, so they have Droxel Captain. We just need to draw a card to mill our stuff. The Balustrade Spy or the other guy. Are we trying to hardcast that Titan? No. Maybe? I mean, I can start casting Vengevine and Racing. Any thought of Thopter Foundry? That's interesting. Gravedigger's Cage. How do you have both? Are you not playing a company deck? Oh, come on. I mean, it's still gonna be useful because I can still mill the shields. But for now I'm gonna be casting the Vengevines and attacking. And then maybe we're gonna mill the shields for 12 damage. Well, I mean, attack. They have a Droxel Captain, so next turn they, I don't know, play a Droxel Captain, we attack them. We can deal 12 to them with Undercity Informer. How about Shenanigans? Best card for the deck, yeah. And they're planning to block. Can you cast the Shields? Shields are not cast with it. Remind that you actually have a discard outlet in your deck. They have Cage, so I'm not doing that. Because I need to attack with my Vengevines. Cage doesn't stop Soul but Narco, yeah, but it stops. Stops my opponent well enough. Phantasmagorian. When you play a sign for modern preliminary, how should I know? How they know? Can't wait to bring this deck to your local casual modern FNM and wreck children. This is a very good at wrecking, very good deck for wrecking children. Also, people who are unaware of how combo decks work, etc. You just awkwardly explain to them, no, and that you're gonna be revealing a card from the top of your deck until you find a land, and then you're gonna be revealing and revealing and revealing and revealing, and they'll be confused, and they'll be like, okay, at what time is he gonna flip that land? I don't see any. He has so little land in his deck, and then if you reveal and reveal and reveal and reveal, and then actually the new wish to the game opponent realizes there is no lands. There is no lands in the entire deck. I have been trapped.